pride always comes before the fall, and for John Deere, that fall might be closer than ever after nearly 200 years as the undisputed leader in agriculture. The company has made one decision that has sparked outrage, led to the loss of thousands of American jobs, caused farmers to abandon the brand, and prompted competitors such as Kubota and Caterpillar to circle like vultures. Is this the beginning of the end for John Deere? Or can they claw their way back from the brink? To understand how John Deere reached this precarious moment, one must examine the decisions that have brought the giant to its knees. John Deere stunned the agricultural world when it announced that a significant portion of its manufacturing operations would be relocated to Mexico. The company explained the decision as a necessary step to cut costs and improve efficiency. They stated that a $55 million investment in new facilities in Mexico would secure its long-term competitiveness, according to executives at John Deere. This shift was not about abandoning its American roots, but rather about adapting to the economic pressures of a changing global market. Despite their carefully worded justifications, the backlash was immediate for many. To numerous individuals, this move felt like a betrayal. For more than 180 years, John Deere has been an iconic symbol of American farming. Its signature green and yellow tractors are not merely machines. They represent generations of hard work, the resilience of small towns, and an unshakable connection to the land. With the decision to move production, thousands of American workers suddenly found themselves facing unemployment, and entire communities that had relied on John Deere factories for decades began to question their future. The most immediate impact was felt in the heart of the Midwest, particularly in Iowa and Illinois, where John Deere had long been one of the largest employers. Hundreds of layoffs were announced almost immediately, with warnings that even more were on the horizon. In cities such as Dubuque, Iowa, workers who had spent their entire careers assembling John Deere equipment suddenly saw their livelihoods vanish. These jobs were not simply positions in a factory. They were the lifelines that supported entire families. The consequences extended well beyond the factory floor. Local businesses, ranging from small diners to auto repair shops, had long relied on the steady paychecks provided by John Deere employees. When those paychecks began to disappear, the economic impact rippled through the community. Public outrage grew as news of the move spread. Workers took to social media to express their anger, and community leaders voiced their frustration at what they perceived as a company turning its back on the very people who had built it. Many former employees pointed out that the company was not experiencing financial difficulties. In fact, John Deere had reported billions of dollars in profits. In recent years, the decision to outsource production felt even more like a slap in the face. Lawmakers from both major political parties condemned the decision, with some calling for stricter regulations to prevent companies from abandoning American workers in favor of cheaper labor overseas. A number of these politicians even proposed new tariffs or tax penalties aimed at discouraging the practice of outsourcing. Meanwhile, corporate leaders at John Deere doubled down on their decision. They insisted that the move was simply a necessary action to remain competitive in a tough global market. Although executives defended their decision with detailed economic analyses and long-term strategic plans, rivals saw the situation as an opportunity. As John Deere struggled with the backlash from layoffs and the outsourcing controversy, its competitors did not sit idly by. They began to move in, and farmers who had once sworn by the green and yellow machines of John Deere started to look elsewhere. The agricultural equipment industry is fiercely competitive, and with John Deere making such a significant misstep, companies such as Kubota CNH Industrial and Caterpillar are eager to capitalize on the opportunity. Kubota, a Japanese brand that had long been considered a niche player in the American market, has steadily gained traction. Over recent years, their strategy is simple produce equipment that is affordable, reliable, and easy to maintain. Kubota focuses on practical machinery that does not require an engineering degree to operate, a stark contrast to John Deere, which has heavily leaned into automation and high-technology farming solutions. Many farmers, particularly those in rural areas who prefer simplicity over complexity, now view Kubota as the more dependable choice. The company has experienced a surge in sales, particularly for its compact tractors, as more farmers search for cost-effective alternatives that do not sacrifice quality at the same time. CNH Industrial, the parent company of brands such as Case International, HR Harvester, and New Holland, has also moved quickly to seize the moment. Case International Harvester is known for its powerful and durable tractors that are designed for large-scale farming operations. In contrast, New Holland has built a strong reputation for producing hay and forage equipment, making it a favored brand among livestock farmers. CNH Industrial has an advantage at this moment because of its ability to adapt with production facilities located across North America. This distribution has allowed them to avoid the type of outsourcing controversy that is currently plaguing John Deere farmers who wish to support a company that contributes to American jobs are taking notice of CNH Industrial's strategy. Then there is Caterpillar, historically known for its heavy construction equipment. Caterpillar has made aggressive moves into the realm of agriculture. The company is leveraging its extensive expertise in heavy machinery to compete directly with John Deere's larger models. Caterpillar has focused on precision farming technology, an approach that is drawing increasing attention, especially as more farmers seek way is to maximize efficiency while minimizing expenses. Caterpillar's long-standing reputation for durability and excellent customer service is also a significant advantage, attributes that many farmers value as much as price and performance. Perhaps even more concerning for John Deere is how quickly the frustration among farmers is spreading. It is not solely their tractors that are under scrutiny. Farmers are reconsidering every aspect of their relationship with the brand, from their combines to the repair parts that they use. Some are turning to used equipment in an effort to avoid contributing further financial support to the company, while others are researching smaller independent brands that prioritize customer service and reliability. John Deere has historically depended on its deep connection to American farmers to maintain its dominance in the market. However, once trust is broken, it is nearly impossible to rebuild if farmers continue to abandon the company. John Deere may soon discover that no amount of cost-cutting can save an organization that has lost the very people who made it great. The competitors in the industry are not only offering alternatives, they are actively courting John Deere's dissatisfied customers. The way events are unfolding suggests that these rivals might succeed in taking a significant bite out of John Deere's long-held dominance. The critical question now is not merely whether John Deere will lose customers, but how many it will lose as a direct consequence of its recent decision. It is important to remember that John Deere did not suddenly wake up one morning and decide to move production to Mexico simply for the pleasure of doing so. This was a calculated decision, driven by the pressures of a changing global economy, rising costs, and the company's long-term vision for the future. While it is easy to criticize the company for prioritizing profits over the well-being of its workers, the situation is more complicated. John Deere is confronting numerous challenges that have forced it to rethink its operational strategies and determine whether it can continue to conduct business as it always has. One of the most significant issues is cost manufacture. Ewing in the United States has become increasingly expensive due to rising labor wages, persistent supply chain disruptions, and the effects of inflation. Additionally, the cost of raw materials such as steel and aluminum has increased dramatically. In recent years, these factors have combined to make it more expensive to build the tractors and farming equipment that John Deere is known for. Supply chain issues, many of which originated during the global pandemic, continue to cause delays and drive up operational costs by shifting some of its production to Mexico. John Deere is attempting to take advantage of cheaper labor while staying in relatively close proximity to the American market, which the company hopes will make its operations more efficient. However, cost-cutting is not the only factor at work. John Deere has also been investing heavily in automation and artificial intelligence-driven farming technology. Many believe that this recent move is part of a larger strategic shift toward robotics and autonomous equipment. The company has already introduced self-driving tractors and precision farming solutions that reduce the reliance on human labor by focusing on automation. In this context, John Deere may view the change as a way to future-proof itself, even if it means that fewer jobs will be available for American workers from their perspective. This is not merely about relocating jobs. It is about transitioning to an industry in which human labor is becoming less essential. This strategic shift, however, comes with significant risks, particularly with respect to government support. For decades, John Deere has benefited from American agricultural policies, tax incentives, and subsidies that promote domestic manufacturing. Outsourcing production to Mexico puts these benefits in jeopardy. Should lawmakers push for stricter requirements regarding products that are made in America or impose penalties on companies that move jobs overseas, John Deere could find itself losing some of the advantages that have helped it dominate the market for so long. John Deere is betting that the move will strengthen the company's future. Yet with farmers turning away workers, losing their livelihoods, and political pressure mounting, the real question remains, have they gambled with their reputation in a decision that they cannot afford to reverse? The company now faces one of the most challenging moments in its long history. A brand that was once synonymous with reliability and loyalty is now struggling to maintain its reputation. The backlash from the decision to shift production has been overwhelming, and the company is currently engaged in damage control mode. The challenge that lies ahead is daunting. If John Deere wishes to regain the trust of its customers, it will need to act quickly and decisively. One potential strategy is to reinvest in American-based manufacturing by expanding existing domestic plants or providing guarantees that future jobs will not be outsourced. Additionally, the company might attempt to soften the impact on its customers by launching new incentives such as extended warranties, innovative financing deals, or loyalty rewards that are designed to keep long-time customers from switching to competitors. Even if these efforts are implemented, reversing the damage will not be easy. The agricultural industry is on the cusp of a new era in which automation and artificial intelligence-driven farming are rapidly becoming the norm. Companies that invest in cutting-edge technology while simultaneously nurturing strong customer relationships are likely to emerge as the winners. Although John Deere still retains an advantage in the realm of advanced farming solutions, that advantage will become irrelevant if customers are not willing to purchase from a brand they no longer trust. The coming years will be critical in determining whether John Deere can recover from this miscalculation or whether the company will continue to lose ground as farmers turn to brands they feel can offer reliability and support American workers. The company now stands at a crossroads. It can choose to acknowledge its mistakes and engage in a vigorous effort to regain loyalty, or it can persist on its current path in the hope that time will heal the wounds. However, history has shown that once a giant stumbles, its competitors do not simply wait for the fall. They seize the opportunity to take over. And if John Deere is not careful, that is precisely what will happen. So what do you think about John Deere's monumental move? Will the company manage to bounce back and restore the trust of its longtime supporters? Or has it made a mistake that is impossible to fix? The future of this iconic brand hangs in the balance, and the decisions made in the next few years will determine whether John Deere remains a symbol of American ingenuity or becomes a cautionary tale of pride. Before the fall, we invite you to share your thoughts and opinions on this unfolding story. If you found this deep dive into one of the biggest shifts in the agricultural industry to be insightful, please consider giving it a positive vote and subscribing for more comprehensive analysis of significant market changes. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we look forward to exploring the future of agriculture and the challenges facing American manufacturing in our next discussion.